REZOcast, episode 87. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and Mana, and it's just us this week talking some Destiny 2, talking Escalation Protocol that's out, and Iron Banner's out, and some new exciting stuff from the TWAB. Hove, how's your week been? You weren't here last week.
No, I wasn't, and I just want to point out that apparently you guys did a very good job, and apparently I'm a distraction.
Oh.
Because the first comment I read was Bot Buster on the YouTube video. Bot, shout out to you, that said, this was a really good episode. It was much more serious without Hove. And I was like, oh.
I thought about it afterwards, too. I was like, man, we really went through and hit all the hard topics, and we're super serious about it. And I was like, yeah, we weren't distracted at all, were we?
But I feel like we still talk about things.
How long was last week's? I feel like we almost got a 2 hour without any
that's not
without any distractions.
I feel like I'm also the one who's usually blamed for how long the episodes are. Yeah, Lego is nodding for anyone listening.
Yeah, I'm blaming Windler, of course.
My eyes real red right now. I don't know
what
why.
else am I gonna do?
Yeah. So no, I wasn't here. I had some things come up, and I had to not be here. I didn't end up going out of town, by the way. That didn't happen. I was supposed to be in Vegas.
So that's why he's not dead. That's why he's
back.
I'm
still alive. I didn't get to go to Vegas. Some things came up at home that I wasn't able to leave the area. So, but I'm back and playing a lot of Destiny and stuff. I've been playing a lot less PUBG and a lot more Destiny, so take that as you will. But,
I will take it.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, it's been good. Been playing with the usual people, Lego, Marcus, Wilson, all of them. Still haven't gotten to play with Mana, even though we should.
Clawman pretty frequently, though.
Been playing with Claw a good bit.
Yeah.
I missed me some Claw.
That's been fun.
It's been a quick minute since I played with Claw.
Yeah, I just randomly saw him on, and at the almost at the exact time I sent him a party invite, he texted me and Lego and was like, "I want to play Iron Banner." And so, it was meant to be. So anyway, so that's my week. I'm back. I'm ready to talk about some things. I'm gonna be super serious this week. No, I'm not. Word insertion has returned with my return. So be prepared for me, Lego, and Mana to all insert words into this conversation. They won't fit into the conversation, so you will notice them.
Yeah.
But
Good.
So how's your week over there, Chippendale?
Was that it? Was that one of his words?
No, it wasn't.
I was like, was that a ding ding ding? Well, I don't remember what I did last weekend, honestly. I swear I was sober too. I just don't remember. But for this weekend, or just week, I mean, I've been playing a lot of PvE with a dash of Iron Banner.
Oh yeah.
I think over the past couple days, I think we played about maybe 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8, not 68.
I was like 68 hours, man.
Oh my
6 to 8 hours of Iron Banner, and I've yet to get the remake.
Yeah.
Bannerfall.
Bannerfall. Why can't I remember that? I don't know. I played on it a lot. I wanted to say Iron Banner too. But I was like, that's not it. So now I'm confused.
I got it once.
It's not there. It's not there for some people. I swear to God.
Apparently, Mana, you were not sober because you did drunk Mario Kart last weekend.
Oh, Fridays doesn't count. I'm always drinking. But yes, that was fun, actually. That was really fun. I need to do it again. I might actually do it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But I also started a little side job. My dad's trying to sell some houses, and he hurt himself. So he offered me a job to pretty much do the things he cannot. So the past couple days, I've been working during the day.
Nice.
And it's a lot of physical labor. And the past 2 years, all I had to do was sit and play video games. Yeah. So now I feel muscles I've never worked in a long time.
Isn't that amazing? You're like, where did this come from? I thought that was just soft.
I mean, it's just I work out. I've been consistently working out. And you'd think I would touch up on a couple of those muscles, but I guess I haven't.
Well, apparently you're not very good at working out.
There's a couple muscles in my body that
there's just a lot of muscles in the body in general, right?
Tomorrow I'm going to be painting, so oh gosh.
Painting. Oh my gosh.
I actually have a sunburn.
You know,
Ohio sun has actually hit me hard enough to burn me a little bit on my shoulders.
A streamer has experienced the sun.
If you really want to get a good workout and get in better shape for helping your dad do this stuff, you should just go practice and become a lumberjack.
Can you just practice to become one?
I guess just start chopping down some trees.
Like, I feel like with my lack of beard, I just can't be one.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, yeah.
I got that one in. I snuck that one right in there.
Yeah, Mana didn't even see it. That was good.
No, that was good.
Yeah.
That was pretty smooth. Well, speaking of the new Iron Banner map,
wait, I want to know how your week was.
Let me tell you, Hove.
I am very concerned about your week. It makes me very happy to hear that you do. What?
I don't know. I'm concerned what's making you happy.
I'd like to hear about your week. I heard an episode at one point where someone asked you, and you said, wow, no one ever asks me how my week is. So I want to show you that I care, and I want to ask how your week is.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. What I was referring to in that episode was the guest normally doesn't respond right back. Well, how are you doing?
No, that's fine.
But, yeah, it was good.
Oh, that's good. Okay, moving on.
I'm having this weird thing right now where when this new DLC first dropped, I was like, okay, I don't want to play anything else. I just want to play D2. And then just this week, Iron Banner hit, which I loved Iron Banner last time, but I think I was really enjoying comp a lot before Iron Banner hit. And now that Iron Banner's here, no one really wants to play comp. Everybody just wants to get their Iron Banner rank up, even because people who play comp are Crucible players. And so they're like, oh, well, this is an easy Crucible thing to do compared to comp. And so they all want to do that, I feel like. And so I like the tense gameplay of comp and progressing towards that big thing at the end of the season. And I feel like I can't really do that right now. So I found myself actually going back to PUBG for a second, which is weird. But
really?
I'm definitely still playing a lot of Destiny 2. It's just I haven't even felt the urge at all to play PUBG, and I got that a little bit, but just because I wasn't getting my tense multiplayer feeling,
Have you seen what this weekend's event mode is?
No,
It's so right up your alley.
What is it? Is it crossbow only?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah, listen. So the circle always starts somewhere near the middle, so that you already know, like, everyone's gonna be kind of together. Crossbow and melee weapons only.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And there are ghillie suits readily found as regular loot throughout.
No,
this sounds amazing. I hope. Is there no armor that drops? Because that would be even better if it was just one shot kill, like everything.
That I don't know. That would be
great.
I just remember thinking Lego likes crouching around like a scared child.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called Desert Night.
Well, that sounds awesome. That sounds really fun. I want to say, like, even though I am jumping back, that doesn't mean that I'm not playing like tons of, like, I'm finishing the Iron Banner challenges every single day for every character. So it's not that I'm not playing tons of Destinies still as well. I just don't care about my light level as much. So I mainly just want to play Crucible. And you can only play like so many rounds of Iron Banner before I'm like, okay, I want to like take something seriously for a second,
But I think that's why I like Iron Banner right now, because towards the end of year 3, just Crucible in general, I just stopped caring and just started just playing.
Yeah.
And didn't care. I think I started enjoying it. Now with like Iron Banner being 6v6 again, I think that kind of like mentality that came back. It's just like, I don't really care if I win or lose.
It's more like a party mode type of thing.
Yeah. I've been actually enjoying Crucible or just Iron Banner. Just a couple hours a day.
It definitely has been really fun it's been nice to have that mode to go into to get things done that I need to get done. Like I have the catalyst for Vigilance Wing now, and so I've been needing to knock that out. And even though I've been liking playing with Graviton Lance and the Imminent Storm, the Crucible submachine gun that you get for hitting rank 1 in Glory, I really like that loadout, but I've been switching it up and using Vigilance Wing again just to get that catalyst done, playing in Iron Banner. Have y'all gotten any of the catalyst yet? I'm curious.
I had Darcy. That's it.
Oh, you got Darcy. Nice.
I have a few catalysts. I've completed one. I completed the Borealis catalyst and got the Master Word.
Dude, that one takes a while too.
It's 150 kills with every element, I think.
Every element, yeah.
It was a quick minute.
It's not
in
that
PvE.
much.
I mean, if you jump back and forth, honestly, between public events. You go to one public event, hit the The flag gives you full ammo, go around, kill, jump to the next one. So
I didn't know until this week that gave you full power ammo.
Really?
I didn't know until last week that it gave you full power ammo.
I knew it gave you all your abilities and your super. I never noticed the full ammo thing.
I thought it was only super.
Is that
No
new?
way.
Is that new?
No, it's done that the whole time. I can't believe y'all didn't know.
That's what people are telling me too. I was just like, how did I not? Okay,
Oh my gosh,
I'm just bad.
I do that all the time just to like, it's the best time to have fun with power ammo before an event starts. You just waste everything and then you get it all right back.
I always used to do that with my super and my grenade and everything.
Oh, that's a good tip though. I didn't think about using that to complete the Borealis thing. That would be really helpful.
Last week, someone told me to do that. I was just like, my God, you're a genius. This guy's actually a genius. You just saved me so much time.
I really wish that I had the catalyst for Darcy because that's one of my new favorite power weapons for PvE because it's so good. And it feels so good to just, in a heroic strike, lock onto a yellow bar, one shot to the face, and he's out. And you're like, it's always freaking strong.
What does the Masterworks do for the Darcy? Do you know?
Gives it more in the mag, right? Something like that.
I think so. It's either that or stability. It might be more in the mag. I think it's more in the mag.
I think it's stability too. I could be wrong though. Borealis is the one that gives it like a faster reload, right? Or something.
So you can change elements faster. Yep. Yeah.
So that's pretty nice.
Which is a smart one because that's one that's kind of like one of those synergetic things. Like take a new perk and it kind of like helps with an established one. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a not as powerful, I don't think, but that whole Desperado perk where reloading when Outlaw is in effect grants you something else. So they kind of play off of each other.
Ooh, which reminds me, I wanted to talk about a perk that I've noticed really helped me out in Crucible recently, which is not on a gun, but a subclass perk for Sunbreaker. I've been playing the bottom tree, which I know is unpopular, but I like the different burning effects that it gives everything, not having to shoulder charge to get the punch off to burn people. So just my regular punch would burn people. But I switched over to use the top tree because the shoulder charge burn like makes enemies weak, you know, in PvE. So I was just using it in that and decided to take it into PvP. And I realized how much I love whenever you get a kill with like a grenade or the melee charge or your super and your everything like reloads super quickly because it lasts for like 10 seconds or something. It's super long period of time. And it saved me a game. I got a 5-piece on a comp match and I had just come out of my super before going into the last 2 kills. And so when I got the first guy down, I like didn't have any ammo left in my submachine gun, but that perk was still active that lets you reload fast and everything. Got behind a corner, reloaded super fast. My recovery was going pretty high. And so it started going and I was able to engage the next person like right away. And that won the game for me because everything was just working so fast. And I feel like they tried to do perks that work like that in D1 with the adept weapons. You know, when you die in trials and all of a sudden your guns would work super fast. Do you remember that with the adept weapons?
I do remember that.
I think, I think when you were the last one, all your guns were fast. Standing. When you respawned, I think you had faster movement speed.
Exactly. Yeah. So it works kind of like that. And so I don't know. It was nice to see that actually like work out for me to be able to use it to its full potential for a round. And I've been feeling the effects of it a lot. So if you're, for whatever reason, I don't think you would be running the bottom tree and be an idiot like I was in PvP because I was just running it like, because I thought I liked when it made the flames and people would stand in them and burn. When you get a kill, it means like a flame if you run the bottom tree. And so that was nice for burning people in corners or getting kills after you died and stuff like that. But really the top tree is the way to run because when you throw a hammer, it has that explosion that kills other supers every time. Yeah.
Okay, so that actually happened to me a couple days ago. A hammer dude, it was on the Burning Shrine remake. He threw the hammer through. I wasn't near the hammer. I guess it hit the wall, blew the guy up next to me, and then blew me up when I was hugging the other wall. I was just like, really? Like, you really just murdered me? Like full health and everything.
That's what happened on the 5-piece that I got. It starts out, I kill one guy. It's the Emperor's Callus's map for PvP. I can't remember what the exact name's called. And I killed one guy in the center where B flag is, where the main tunnel hallway is, where you jump across. And then I like moved around and threw one where the outside bomb plant is. I just kind of threw it that direction and then kept running. And I didn't even realize I got a kill on that second hammer throw. I was looking back through the footage and was like, the explosion killed someone. I had no idea.
Is it similar? Because I don't even have a Titan on PS4. Is it similar to like Sunshot's explosion now?
I think it's bigger.
It's
like
even
really
more amazing.
It's
like
huge,
the explosion itself, I don't think kills him, but it's like small like flames or whatever, like certain things come down and create smaller like explosions and just murder everything around it. It's crazy.
Think like Sunshot, but instead of that small little solar explosion, you get like a plutonium bomb explosion.
Pretty much.
So like if Sunshot was Ari Lewandike Jr., this explosion would be Ari Lewandike Sr. It'd just be
it would be like
bigger and better
General
version.
William Ironside explosion. Okay, I'm done.
Ding.
I was like,
Emperor's Respite is the name of the map.
Emperor's Respite, yeah, that's it.
Thanks to Will in chat.
Will, yeah, thanks, man. Dude, Will, shout out to him too. We played a lot of comp before Iron Banner started, and it was so much fun. It was really fun.
I still need to jump into that sometime.
Here's my
I've only
thing.
grinded it now a couple of times.
Real quick,
dude, man, we gotta play. It's difficult, and actually, I want to get into this a little bit, but Hove, I'll let you.
Well, I didn't want to get into it, so I want to point out I want to talk about one other thing real quick before.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
So, do you know what the thing that's been pulling me away from Iron Banner the most is right now? After that night we played with Claw, the first night.
Private matches?
Yes.
It's really fun.
Because here's the thing that private matches are so good for. Like, no matter the state of PvP, no matter what the time to kill, the guns, whatever, it's just so much fun to just go in there with a bunch of people and just turn on random rumble and just use stupid weapons.
Yeah.
And just fuck around and like talk shit on everybody.
There's no pressure. There's no pressure. You can just like
when I pulled out a random linear fusion rifle and murdered Lego with it multiple times, I'm going to talk shit about that probably until the end of time.
I mean, I didn't see it, so
because I shot you in your eye and you died.
Both of them,
yeah.
But at the same time.
Yeah. But no, that private matches are just so much fun to me right now. Like, you just grab a couple people. Granted, we don't have our no land fusion anymore, which makes me sad. But still, private matches just, I don't know, man. Like, I went into them just like, hey, we're here, let's play. And I came out like, that's so much fun. I want to keep doing that. It just really is a good time.
Yeah, no, it is fun. And I agree with you. It lets you kind of be able to try things that you wouldn't try before. And honestly, I think I need to get in the habit more. And I think more people would enjoy doing this too, is like when you're done, running trials or playing comp or whatever it is that you do, like even Iron Banner, just take those people at the end of the night before you're done, just play like one round of a private match, because it's just a fun way to cool down or to get going, to start off your night. That's what we did before. I think we jumped into something last time.
Is that how you get warmed up, Lego?
Yeah.
Get all never mind. Also, stemming from private matches, do you know what is my new favorite weapon of the week that I've been using the shit out of?
Risk Runner, maybe?
Oh, well, that definitely in PvE. Risk Runner is so gross in PvE.
Dude, I came against somebody with it in PvP in Iron Banner, actually, and it surprised the crap out of me because you can see the shield effect around them when you shoot them with an arc weapon, and I'm like, what the heck? This guy isn't taking hardly any damage. And then after I die, I see the shield on him as he runs away, and I'm like, whoa, he's using that. And so in that moment, I went to my screen and changed all the elements on my guns to solar. I was like, no, I'm not putting up with that.
We're not doing this. Dude, I saw it tank an arc staff, like slash.
Yeah, I think it does tank
I forgot who I was playing. I was Norris and it was Trials. I think he did the slam. So like the splash kind of hit him, the arcs, and he went, swiped him, hit him, and turned around thinking he killed him. And he's like, wait. Like, he turned around, he's like, the dude just ran away. Like, I hit him.
I wonder how fast an arc, a Risk Runner would melt a arc blade if they had the perk active, like how fast it would kill someone in their super, because it gives you more damage output too, right? So I don't know.
It's gross. It's so good. But anyway, my favorite gun right now, Crimson, is so much fun.
I got the the catalyst for that.
Oh,
I've yet to work on it. I got it randomly in a raid that everyone was yelling at me because I was failing hard, and then I got it, and I was just like, suck it. But I heard it pretty much turns into like Red Death.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
once you get it done.
The range bar gets maxed. Like, that's ridiculous.
I need it. I need to work on that.
I mean, it's already like the range on it is already pretty good.
I don't know. It's in a weird place for me. Like True Vanguard actually agreed with me. I can't get used to it in PvP. And PvE, it's amazing, by the way.
See, I've started to really like it in PvP, surprisingly.
Maybe I should use it in Iron Banner.
Maybe we should do private matches after the podcast for like a half hour. Oh, you can come play 1 or 2 games. Don't give me that face, you little chipmunk.
Dude, I'm so tired. Well, I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's like I smoked a bunch of blueberry yum yum or something. Like I just can't.
Oh, I thought he was saying he did. He was like, yeah, so I need to go to bed.
And the fact that you just said blueberry yum yum did not, like Lego was not phased at all.
No, it doesn't faze me at all. Like no.
He knows that good apparently. Okay, moving on.
Been playing with Wilson too much. So
out like that.
My favorite line of all time still. We were playing private matches actually, and I said something like Lego, being a Titan and running around was way up in the air, and I said something like, "God damn it, Lego, you were so high," and Wilson goes, "Lego, don't worry, I get that high every day."
No way. I don't even remember that.
Oh Wilson does.
That's awesome.
We talk about it every once in a while.
I'm trying. Okay, so I want to get
times.
into something for a second here, before we move on to maybe TWAB stuff or something. So we got ranked going on. They announced last week. Windler gave us a bunch of gobbledygook about how it works and everything. And no, it wasn't. That's all on me. It was. I mean, he explained it properly. I think the way. I think it was it Derek Carroll who came on last week to talk about how it worked. I can't remember, but it was in the TWAB. They talked about how the matchmaking worked, and basically confirmed like it's skill-based matchmaking for comp, not it's not your competitive rank. It's who you would match up against. And so they're saying eventually you'll get to that rank too if you're matching against people ranked that high. And I just kind of like didn't know what to think about it last week. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, I guess. And Windler talked about last week how he thought that loading times would be extreme for the people who got up in higher ranks. And that makes sense too. But at the same time, I'm very I feel like it's putting people off of comp. Like I feel like people don't want to go into it because they don't want to start out at the top when they're at the bottom.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to express my feeling towards it right now. I definitely feel what they're saying, like that it just feels so hard at the very beginning. And that's our whole complaint in D1 when skill-based matchmaking got put in and everybody was like, I want to feel a sense of I'm improving and getting better than these people or something like that. And where right now it's not like this gradual, it's getting harder as I go because I'm reaching the top. It's instead like it's just hard all the time. It's exactly the same and it never changes. Which, I can live with that, but I would just prefer it not be that way. And I don't think that just to have better matchmaking times is the reason why. Like, I don't feel like Bungie's really given us a reason why it's that way. And I feel like I would prefer it if it was more your rank based rather than just your skill based. Did y'all have any thoughts on the way matchmaking works?
I understand their thought on it. I get what they're going for. I just think it's stupid and not the right way to go about it. Because if you're going to have a playlist like this, where it is a ranked playlist, and especially when you're giving rewards for hitting different ranks, it defeats the purpose. Like you said, it should get harder as you go. Hey, I'm in this low, say you're a skill level 7 out of 10. Okay? So as you're going, it should be easy, a little bit harder until you get up to where you are, and it becomes, this is like my skill level. And then if you progress past that, you've improved. Yeah. Whereas now, not only does that fly in the face of, or does it fly in the face of that, like So not only is it just hard all the time, but really that kind of that puts people who maybe don't play as much ranked or didn't jump in right away, puts them at a disadvantage for a lot of those other rewards, because the people who jumped in right away and worked their way up, they're already there. They already got the rank. There's nothing else to do. But now, say like I said, your rank, you fall somewhere in what's legend? Is that the next mythic? Mythic is the next to highest one, right?
I think so.
So say like you were about a mythic player. Well, now you're going to be playing mythic players the entire time. But you're going to be at the bottom. So like any loss is going to be a slower progress. Whereas people who played early and are already at mythic and are mythic leveled, it doesn't matter if they win, lose. They're going to stay around their skill level. You'll never get up to that. Do you know what I mean?
I think Bungie's argument is that you would be like they had to fight all the same people like at their rank 2 to get there. They just put in the time earlier than you did, which isn't the case because they didn't turn on that matchmaking until a few days later. But
it's still when skill-based matchmaking, and they've said this from the get-go, is designed to give you a 50% win rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I think they've kind of gone back on that. They said that's like because that got brought up recently, and someone was like, "It's kind of taken out of context. That's not exactly what we meant."
No, that's exactly what skill-based matchmaking is. It puts you someone very close to give either team the same chance of winning.
Yeah, that's true.
If you get up to this rank, and now you're playing all these people that are your skill level, and games go either way, that's great. You already got that. But if you, as someone who just started and have no score, are playing those same teams over and over again, and you're playing 50-50, 50-50, you don't go anywhere.
Yeah. So the way it's set up, you do go somewhere because the wins count more for you than the losses. But
don't be so literal. I wasn't.
I know. I'm just. I'm saying that, man, it's gonna take forever. Unless you really have the best of the best, and there's like you said, it's just such a slow process when you have games that are 50-50 that it makes you not want to do the grind. And that's the problem to me, is like if there were a sense of progression where like you're playing easier players at the beginning, then it would make, or I don't even know how to phrase it, because I feel like, I don't know, it's difficult because then I think about those players that are maybe the not as skilled players and where their place in it all is. Are they like slowly trying to make it up to only so many ranks? I feel like it would still work out fine if they made it rank-based matchmaking rather than skill, though. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on it in my mind, but
I there is no back and forth in my opinion. Like it's a ranked playlist. That's how those are supposed to work. Like
yeah.
You work your way up rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah. And Bungie has said before, they're like, we don't necessarily want you to tell us how to like fix it. Like what's most helpful for us is how you feel about it. Tell us how you feel. And how I feel about it is that I'm not making any progress when I don't feel myself progressing when I go in, because games aren't getting harder as I go up. They're the same all the time, whether I'm rank 1 or rank 3. And so that's the problem.
And just as a feeling, like a rewarding, intrinsic type of thing, there's no like, all right, man, we're killing it. Oh, that game was a little tough. And then like, oh man, now we're really playing some good players. Like you don't get to feel that. You don't get to see that progression. There's no progression. The only progression is a number.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I hope it's something they take a look into and reconsider. Like I really, really do. And I feel like no one's being super vocal about it yet because we're not at that point in the game where that's all there is to do. There's still a lot of PvE to do. There's still a lot of Iron Banner, and they're coming out with faction rallies later and new, armor or, stuff, exotic stuff soon. And all these things every week are coming out for the expansion even that are time gated. And so people aren't as worried about the PvP comp side of things, but I think we'll get there. I think the voices are going to start getting louder as we go.
Well, man, as someone who is much more of a long-time PvP player, I feel like, than Lego and I in these types of things. You played old like Halo ranked, right?
Yes.
So what's your thoughts on all this? Since Lego and I did just keep kind of like cutting each other off, and I just saw you kind of sitting there.
But it's like a part of me feels like I didn't really get a chance to play a lot of comp so far, like ranked. So I don't have as much as to say you guys. Like I only played it the first week and once after that, and then my internet was atrocious and it kicked me out and I got locked out for 30 minutes and I lost all of my progression because it kept on getting kicked out.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gone back since that. But it's like, yeah, Halo. I like the ranking. Apparently, you guys understand it. You guys just went back and forth explaining it. There's not really much for me else to say, but like what Hope said is pretty much everything I agree with. Is like that's what it should be. That's what everyone expected it to be. Not this. I don't know what it is really.
It's exactly what it was before. That's all. They haven't changed anything. That's what it is to me. It's like it's exactly the skill-based matchmaking it was before. Yeah. It even matches you based off of your previous skill. It didn't even start over, I don't think. And so therefore,
I think it did.
It did. Okay.
Because somebody had tweeted a dev about something with the matchmaking and everything, and he said, "Well, maybe you were in your first however many games while it was figuring things out."
I don't know, because I had people jump in for their very first match with me, or maybe they played like 2 matches and they're already like, it ranked us again. I played with a team of like 2 or 3 people who had never played before, and it ranked us all against people who had like 1300, 1400 rank already. I'm not even like, at that time I was still under 800. And so we were like, well,
but those ranks don't matter. That's the problem.
That is the problem. Yes, that's
so
exactly.
Those people could have been super shitty. They just played a bunch of other super shitty people to get to 13 or 1400. That's the issue. That didn't looking at their rank doesn't tell you a damn thing.
That's exactly right, because one of my
you're right.
Like, one of the only times that I've actually played was TV, Wendler, and I can't remember our fourth. I'm sorry, but we went up against a team. There's a couple guys with the Claymore already. They were much higher ranked than we were, because I think at that point, I think TV was the closest one to getting the Claymore at that point. Everyone else was a couple hundred lower. I was the lowest. We slaughtered. We wiped the floor with them, and it's like they already were high enough rank to get the claim. Like rank literally doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
That's what I mean. Like you were saying, oh, they were such high rank, but that's the issue that I have, is that doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I see it now, because you could live in a Destiny like matchmaking realm where you never surpass, you just go back and forth within your like lower skill range, and you could still make it to a higher competitive rank. Which
like I said, is I get where they're going with that, but to me it's also the same thing that they have done throughout Destiny 2.
Yes.
That has like for my opinion is one of the biggest things that ruined it, is the whole like you try to make a game for everyone and you make a game for no one.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something that's ranked, the whole point of that is it's supposed to be something to show what you've accomplished, to show your skill and all that stuff, and it doesn't. I mean, making it skill based, it gives, I don't know, Triple Rec the same exact path difficulty in their path to get to the highest rank as it does to me, because I'm going to be playing people that are right near me the entire time. So what am I actually like? It doesn't let me go up against those people. It doesn't let me move up and do anything. It's like you said, it's the same comp playlist. They're just going to give you some points for it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, I think we're done with it. I just wanted to get it out there because it was like really bothering me this week as I was going through it. I still enjoy comp. I'm still having fun with watching the number go up and improving, in that aspect, like progressing towards something in that fashion. But I don't like the way it's set up as far as matchmaking. It doesn't make me feel good about myself.
It's just wrong. Like it's just it's just not the way you should do that. I mean, I hate to be, generally I'm pretty give the benefit of the doubt and blah blah blah. It's just the wrong way to go about it.
Do you think it could have just been like they didn't have time to reinvent a new matchmaking system, and so instead they invented a new point system, and that's
maybe
so they could get it out as fast as possible? I don't know,
but like I know nothing about any of this stuff. But logically, if you have this matchmaking system that takes into account connection versus their Bungie insider elo battle rank whatever to like do your skill, if you can make that work, you can't just do like the very simple and public, okay, this guy's a 1300 so he's gonna play anywhere from 1000 to 1600, so it only puts those people in a pool for you.
Just staying right there, I feel like having the rank be a big number also kind of made it complicated for them in a way, because now you're looking for a large or like not just like one rank, like say like in Halo, you go from 1 to 50, right?
Yeah.
It's easier if the majority of the group is like say 13 to 15, you know, you're searching for just those few numbers on the other team. But now in Destiny, you can go anywhere from 0 to I don't know what, 2,500 and stuff like that. So
you could think of it in terms of instead of the like large number we've been saying, you could think of it in terms of like Brave, Mythic, Legend, you know, those.
Maybe it just goes by that, or attempts to go.
Either way, even if they did 1 to 1,000,000, I feel like if I understand what you're saying, you're looking at it more from like the human side of looking at it. If it's set up with some sort of algorithm, it doesn't matter if it's 1 to 2 or 1 to 1,000,000,000. It just takes that range. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like computing and stuff. Now, if you had to look through all those numbers, yeah, that would take forever. But you know, a computer with like an algorithm running, it shouldn't really matter, because within those ranks somewhere, there's something that's telling that computer and that matchmaking that you're on the low side of 12. And the high side of 13, so you're actually further away. Do you know what I mean? So either way, the computer was seeing it more in depth than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm going to go all the way to 50, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Please don't. So, okay, well, I think we're all on the same page with it, at least.
It's dumb.
As far as
I could keep saying over and over, it's dumb.
Yeah, we got it. Was there anything else before we jump into the TWAB that y'all wanted to talk about with the way D2's been playing? I feel like, you know, Mana, have you gotten to do a big escalation group yet?
I've gotten a couple times, but both times we've been very underleveled, so we couldn't really. I haven't tried it yet. I've been focusing a lot on trying to get my light level up, which, by the way, I'm like mid 370s now, so I'm excited to actually try something. Yeah, I've been working hard at PvE. I've been focusing a lot on PvE.
Maybe that's why all your muscles hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are your
by the way, if you see me tilting, it's because I'm scratching the million of mosquito bites on my ankle, and I should probably stop.
Are your, you know, you've been wearing those from your Snapchat. I haven't been watching you. Have you been wearing those, you know, big sleeveless shirts with those kind of bouncing around and everything? Have your nipples been chafed at all? Ding,
yes.
Ding. Yes. Also, ding. I think I'm again the first person to finish all my words.
Of course.
I gave him an easy one. So, that
was easy. You're suck. I'm sorry.
Why would you? I'm still trying to. I got one out.
You got one, yeah.
So, I think that's it then until we get to the TWAB. I will say I've been enjoying the tractor cannon a lot still. We were playing around with it in Strikes again, and Marcus was going to town. Dude, oh, it's so fun.
The only thing I want to comment on before, it's just a quick comment before we get into the TWAB, is probably out of all the conversations we've had, maybe ever on the podcast, the thing that rang the most true to me that you've said, Lego, is when you were talking about Wendler talking about something, and you used the word gobbledygook.
Yeah.
I feel like now, like I'm picturing him talking, and like I feel like it's all gobbledygook. Like he just says like gobbledygook, gobbledygook, gobbledygook. Like that's what I'm gonna hear like every time I'm talking to him.
He's like a Pokemon now.
That's
all he says.
Kinda. So let's just call him gobbledygook.
Yeah, we'll name him the way they name Pokemon. Like it's just what they say.
And what can he like?
Every Discord that you have power in, if you find Wendler, rename him Gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah, gobbledygook.
Don't tell him though. He has to listen to the podcast to find out.
Done.
Everyone in chat, no one tell him. He has to watch the podcast to find
But
out.
I want to call him gobbledygook now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He'll find out in Discord. There was one other thing. Oh, so I replayed the story mission again for something. I don't know if it was just replaying it on a different character. I had to go back in to play, you know, the worm guy, Zol. But there, I didn't realize the first time through because I just like stood behind the wall the whole time not to get hit by the fire.
That's weird.
But the second time I played through it, I like got really close to him to like shoot something or grab ammo. He will eat you. I didn't realize it, but he'll dive down with his mouth and eat you. And I was like, what the? He can do that?
The first week or so, I've never seen that. And then just maybe over a weekend, I was helping. I forget who I was playing with. But yeah, I saw both my teammates just get murdered in front of me because he literally lunged forward. I was just like, when was that a thing? Like, I was just a little further back, so I was the only one alive. I was like, wow, any further, we would have been just wiped.
He's like a snake. Snake strike.
He's a giant worm god. What?
But
yeah, he
strike
ate
like
us.
that.
What would you expect a giant 40-ish story tall giant no-armed worm with a huge mouth to do when you get close to him?
Yeah, totally. But when's the last time?
I like how you added no armed.
Well, because he can't like
being a worm. It wasn't a good enough description.
He doesn't have like he's not gonna melee you. He's a worm.
Well, when's the last time a Destiny boss has eaten you though? Like
how many Destiny bosses haven't had arms or weapons?
Yeah, but how many have eaten you? They all just like do a slam. I'd expect him to like come
like
on the
range
map,
attack, like the mouth beam and stuff, and then he summons the ads, and
then he eats.
And no one was expecting it. Yeah, he just lunges forward. Also, when he slithers across the
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that killed me first.
You know who dies? Like when you kill him, when he falls, he can kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson dies. I'm sorry, Wilson. I'm so sorry, but Wilson dies to that like every time.
What? Really?
He falls on him and Wilson dies.
So, I was playing with Hovey and Gardevoir. We went through. It fell down on Gardevoir. She survived. The second time through, someone was saying, "Oh, does it kill you if it like it falls down?" I'm like, "No, it doesn't." So I went underneath it, smashes me, and I died. I'm just like, I just got baited. I just baited myself. How did you survive last time? She's like, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Found out the hard way.
Okay, let's jump into this TWAB. We've got first off, they kind of talk about escalation protocol a little bit, which we kind of talked about this last week because Windler kind of gave it away after talking to Tux about it. But they
just throwing Tux under the bus.
Yeah, I know. They had Jacob Benton on, one of the designers, lead designer. And he was talking about escalation protocol and saying how it was meant to be a 3-level activity, that it wasn't just like 9 people, which is the way everyone's doing it now because it's easier. When you say
3, you mean 3-man, 3-person?
What did I say?
3-level.
Oh yeah, 3-man.
Okay,
sorry,
I was making sure.
I don't know. I must have read level when I said it. So 3-player activity is what the in game is supposed to be for that activity. You're supposed to be able to do it with 3 players once you hit max light. That is what is going to be the challenge of doing it. And then other people can come in the zone and help out if they want, but mainly it's those 3 should be able to do it. And I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting. I really thought it was interesting their comments about like how they they expected some people to help, but they didn't expect it to be such a big deal as it is now with everybody, trying to join up on each other to get 9 people to roll through it and how much fun it would be for those people. But I'm also like, how did they not think that would be fun? Like,
not think?
We all love like huge activities. We've
more
all been
players, more friends that can join, the merrier.
I mean, anything you give to people, they're going to try to do whatever it is. And I don't just mean how many people you can get into something. We're going to try to do it the most we can, whatever the thing is. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can have more than 3? Let's see how many we can get.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If it was 100, you'd have people trying to match 100 people. They'd spend hours and hours doing it.
Yeah, I definitely get that. But at the same time, it's like we have talked about, wouldn't it be fun to have, we've had 6 people in other activities like the raid, like have a 6-player, like more not as intense. I mean, not that escalation protocol isn't intense, but it's like slowly getting more and more intense as it goes. Like an activity like that in patrol where you could have a 6-man patrol or something like that. Like people, like, I don't know how they wouldn't have thought that would be really fun, like
I was agreeing with you. Like,
yeah,
not only that specifically, but in any scenario.
Yeah, it's just like if you can do it, the community will attempt to do it. Yeah. I've even had conversations like what if like Bungie create raids where it's like you get your 6-man and then you can also match another 6-man if you're in that same instance. Or you can just come down with like say 8, like they increase the amount of players that can join. Like how PSN has 8 people in a party. Well, if they just add 2 more players, then that'd be even better. You know, just the more people would be just crazier fun.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, or like
look
we've
at,
talked about
like MMOs and stuff.
Yeah, we've also talked about
large scale raids. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, you're good.
Like it's just a fun thought. Like I don't know. I just kind of lost it. But
I messed you up. It's my fault.
yeah. I completely just lost it. But yeah, I was talking about just like I'm just going to revert back to more barrier. Just I'm over it. Go ahead.
Well, also what you've brought it up before too. I think like big team battle, like from Halo, like if we had like 8v8, you know, like that, like whatever we can push the limits of, the more people you throw into a Destiny activity, the more fun it is.
It's like we don't even have game modes now in Crucible where we can use vehicles.
Yeah,
it's like that kind of dwindled out too in D1.
Except
like,
Meltdown for like a week.
And what?
That one map, you were able to pull out your Sparrow in PvP.
There was a
trial. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. That doesn't count. But I'm talking about like jumping into tanks or whatever the other things were. The heavy pikes. Were they pikes? Yeah, and all
pikes,
that
and then
that could be
interceptors.
Crazy. There's that huge ass tank that was introduced in the campaign.
Yes.
Could you imagine if one of those spawned in the direct middle
of
like a big team map, and everyone's like, "We got to get that tank." You know,
let's do that.
Play.
That
could
tank
be cool.
is so cool too. I feel like it's super underutilized. I really expected it to come back in a raid or something.
That could be a game mode right there. Big team map. The only kills that count, you have to control the tank.
Oh yeah.
If you destroy the tank, there's a countdown. When the countdown comes, like a dropship comes, drops another one, and then you have to, like.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool.
It's like Oddball or Juggernaut, except with a tank.
Yeah, with a tank.
And then the other team gets like. There's power ammo everywhere.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, really? This would sound weird. Tanky tank, you know?
And really wait. You're describing a tanky tank, and that's okay. But because I specified that this giant worm had no arms, that was redundant. But you literally said tanky tank.
Tankier tank.
It's not like I said a worm-shaped worm.
Like a super tank.
A worm-shaped worm and a tanky tank.
Yeah.
Walk into a bar.
It's
fucking tanky.
It's just
tank.
like we're talking about worm. We all know that they don't have arms.
Well, we know tanks are tanky. They're goddamn tanks.
But I mean, like
tankier
than normal.
Tanky.
Exactly. You know.
There are two versions.
Yeah, it's just like a better version of something. It's kind of like you take a mini horse but make it a big horse, and it's you know.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, that was good.
Let's see you get this last one, you fuck.
Yeah, I have no idea. this is going to be wrong.
You could probably make it about Wenny if you want.
Okay.
I don't want.
Also, I don't think I really have anything else about escalation. I hope that they make it to where you can matchmake in. Like with more people, that would just be really fun, or something. Bring your own friends.
That probably is something you wouldn't see. I don't even think if September is a big enough thing for that. That sounds like such a
far off
big
thing.
Change in like the infrastructure of the way Destiny works. That would be like a Destiny 3 type of thing.
What is promising though for it is the last phrase that he says. We hear that players are really enjoying large groups of players fighting against enemies, so we'll use that feedback to inform our future plans. Like, hey, you know, maybe not in September, but for stuff after that, maybe we'll create a thing just for it.
Maybe people who, even though Destiny 3 doesn't exist, the people who are working on Destiny 3, hey, you.
Yes.
Also, speaking of like new generations of the next steps in things, quickly, slightly off topic, but while they didn't announce anything, did you see like Sony's CEO or somebody at Sony said that PlayStation 4 is nearing the end of its life cycle?
Ooh.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years already, right? So
it's been more than that, hasn't it?
It's been when did it come out?
I want to say like 2012.
Oh, maybe it has been. Yeah. 12 years? What?
No, 2012. 2012.
Oh, I was like 12 years? Where have I been?
I want to say, because isn't that when Last of Us came out? Wasn't that like a launch with it?
Or
was it? I can't remember when, because Battlefield 4 was also a launch, and I got that bundle.
2013. So it's
too.
been 5 years, coming up on 5 years.
Okay, yeah.
That's wild.
So right in between what you said and I said.
Yeah, we're both right. We'll take it.
Absolutely. It's like Tanky Tank and Worm with no arms.
Yeah.
Those are gonna
Mini,
be
mini
worth
horse, big
it.
horse, a giant penis that shoots Megma at you. I had to say
that's
it.
right.
I had to do it. Ding, ding, ding,
Oh
ding.
Wait,
my
I didn't. Damn it! I didn't
gosh,
hear it. What did you
was-
say?
It's.
You have to repeat it.
No, he definitely doesn't.
You brought up the tanky tank and the worm with no arms, so I was like, yeah, mini horse, big horse, a giant penis shooting Smeg match.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Wow.
He told me I had no choice.
Wow.
Okay.
I wouldn't have said it.
Kami just brought up I was incorrect. Last of Us was PS3. That's why there was a remaster
Right.
for PS4.
Yeah, but Banna was right with the Battlefield 4 coming out at that time, because I remember getting it and the launch being so screwed up you couldn't play anything. All the maps like took forever to get in. Battlefield 4.
Oh yeah, the campaign was really like, I love going through campaigns.
Mhm.
Like, and I was so angry that because I normally go through campaign first and then jump into multiplayer.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 I was so pumped it did shut down. Just one map over and over again. It was like you're on the boat or whatever, and then you come to the shore, you have to chill next to a tank. Or get in the tank, or no, you're following the tank or something. The tank would never leave the beach.
Oh my god.
And so I could not go forward. I was just like, please. All I want to do is go through the campaign.
Let me continue. Okay. So we got these next in the TWAB. We got some armor updates. We got Victor Anderson talking about the armor updates. And they list out 2 different... There's going to be 6 total exotic armors that they are updating. And there's 2 for each class.
Just next week. There's going to be more throughout the summer.
Yes. Yeah, because they listed it on the roadmap. There will be more later. But just for next week, we got with the Titan. I'm just going to kind of list them off. We can talk about them. Syntheseps, mechanical changes. Previously, the perk adjusted your melee damage depending on the number of enemies surrounding you. Now it grants a flat bonus to melee and super damage when you're surrounded by 3 or more enemies. The buff is retained for a short duration after you are no longer surrounded. So they wanted to kind of make it more, I guess,
instantly powerful.
Yeah, reliable too. You kind of knew when it was going to happen based off of like how many people, and it'd be like more rewarding in PvE too.
Assuming that this flat boost is closer to what it would have been if you were surrounded by like 6 people instead of just 3 people previously.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see because we don't have any numbers or anything on that. The next one though,
I just want to tell you real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give my opinion on each one as you say them. Trust me. That one, I don't care. Moving on.
Okay, Mana, did you have anything about? Have you used Syntheseps at all?
I've not really messed with Syntheseps.
Yeah, they're not
Line Rampant.
Not my cup of tea. Although Line Rampant is my cup of tea, and I will talk about that. Mechanical changes. You can hit fire while lift is active without interrupting it, and your aerial hit fire doesn't have an aerial accuracy penalty, which
that actually seems pretty decent. If
it's
you like,
pretty good. I wish it would be while you were aimed too. Is my only thing. That would have been awesome.
I think for PC that could be really good. For console, not so much.
You know, it could be really interesting because I do a lot of SMG stuff now.
Yeah, I would say SMGs.
Especially with that new competitive SMG you get from comp. And I oftentimes find myself like punching someone and then jumping backwards and like still floating a little bit and holding the trigger, and I could hit fire using that, and it could actually be pretty good, especially if you're like going around corners for a second, floating around a corner with an SMG. You can just hit fire it, and then when you land, zoom in, that kind of thing. It could turn out pretty good. But yeah, hip fire isn't too exciting, but I could see it playing out. I could see it being helpful at least all the time, more consistently. Hunter, we got the Dragon Shadow.
Wait.
Oh, you got comments? Yeah, you got to give your opinion. Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's because you don't have a Titan on PS4 apparently, which I didn't know that till just tonight. Hunter, we got the Dragon Shadow. Mechanical changes. Dodging reloads all weapons simultaneously. The effects of Wraith Metal Mail now also includes a bonus to mobility. Cool.
Yeah, I don't care.
I guess. I don't really play with this exotic, so I don't know. I mean, I guess it's cool to reload everything, and they want it to be like useful in a general sense, even under neutral conditions, while keeping the theme of a fast-moving ninja. Was their comments on it? I don't know. So far, reading all of these, it's very blah to me.
Yeah, it's. I've never really used these anyways, but I mean, I might give it a go. It might be good now.
Yeah.
But it's like they're all just chilling in my vault.
Yeah, especially because I was under the impression, I was just talking with someone about it last night, because I was hoping for this TWAB would have some information about the exotic armor changes, and I was really hoping that the exotic armor, like the hunter helmet we got, that gives health back immediately, you know, that everyone is running right now. I thought all of the exotic armor was going to see some sort of that kind of drastic change that's like, oh, this really actually helps me out, you know, and I can use it in almost every situation. And all of this stuff is kind of like, you know, like I mean, really hoping the Titan's Alpha Lupi chest piece was going to get reworked to where when you put out your barrier, it does what the hunter helmet does and
that would have been nice.
Regen. Like that would have been way more helpful than just a tiny chunk of your health, you know. Okay, so next one.
Do you need my opinion on that one?
Yes, I do, Hove. I'm sorry.
No, that one I in all seriousness, I don't even know which one you were talking about because I don't care. The one thing I will say,
nice.
Even though I don't care about any of these, I really don't. I read through all of them and I was like, all right, neat. Maybe one of them will surprise me. You know, one of those things that all of a sudden people start using it and they're like, hey, this is really good. That would be cool. The thing that I really like about this is this kind of new, not direction, but the new way Bungie has been going about things. You know, kind of telling us about things ahead of time, and now with Crucible Labs coming up and stuff like that. Them bringing these things out, I honestly don't think this is like a time gate thing, like, oh, we're going to drip feed some of this stuff. I think this is like, hey, these ones are ready, let's get them out. Then when we get more ready, we'll get them out. As opposed to like, we need to wait until everything is done and ready, and then we'll release it. I do like this direction where it's kind of like, all right, well, let's work on 2 of each. We know we can have that done by this time and release those and go from there.
Okay. That makes me feel better about it too. I didn't really think about it in that sense. Is like, hey, they're just getting stuff done and putting it out, and that's great. I just hope to see more exciting stuff in it, because like the exotic weapon changes have been really exciting, all of them. And to hear about these, it's kind of like, those ones were so exciting, and these ones just aren't.
I guess one of the things I would think by nature, weapon changes are going to be more exciting than armor changes, because for the most part, a lot of armor changes are going to be, even for exotics, are going to be more passive type of things. And yes, some of them are like, maybe they give you some sort of extra power, but if you do that too much, then they just become another weapon. They're not even armor anymore. So I think just by nature, weapon changes are going to be flashier than armor changes.
Okay.
Right? I mean, do you see what I mean?
I still want to see something a little more exciting, but I get what you're saying. And I get that there's also stuff that like we may say like, oh, this isn't that exciting, but then that's just on paper, and when we start playing with it, we're like, oh my gosh, this changes everything if you use it with this weapon and do this thing. And
exactly. And I am very, very open to letting other people test that and tell me about it. But for right now, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's that makes sense. And I kind of feel that way about some of these. There is one I'm really excited about, and I'm still like excited about Lion Rampant because I use that a lot, and that's gonna really help me out, I think. But moving on, we got Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves. Mechanical changes are swapping to a sidearm while critically wounded greatly increases its damage. Which that one is actually pretty cool if you could figure out exactly what is critically wounded, you know, and if it
also it's gonna be a big change, a big increase,
a big damage increase, to make you actually pull out your sidearm. But I could see it being really useful if you're playing especially something like Rumble and you kill one guy and you're critically wounded and you try to get around the corner real quick, and especially if you're a hunter, because that's what you are, you like jump up real quick to get above them, and you have that extra damage, whip out your sidearm, and it's just like a few shots, like it's a very fast time to kill. That would be super useful.
Just
like
whip it out and smack him right in the face with it.
Yes, exactly. Never. Yeah. Okay. No.
And then get out your sidearm.
That wasn't even the one I was excited about. Although I do think it could be really beneficial. The next, okay, Hove, what do you think about that one?
I might actually care about that one if the damage increase is big enough, just because I've really been enjoying Sturm and Drang.
Yeah.
Also in our private match, I got my first 2-tap on a full health Guardian. And I got it twice, and it was both on Marcus, so I'm sorry, Marcus.
I thought you were going to say it was me, and I forgot. I was like, oh, okay, good.
No, you I just killed with the Cold Heart and Linear Fusion.
Yeah. Yes, it did. So, Warlock, we got the Lunafaction boots, and this is the one I'm pumped about, which I don't even play Warlock very much, but this sounds really exciting to use with some other weapons out there. The mechanical changes to it are Rift Reload is automatic instead of being activated on entry exit. So empowering Rift makes weapons more effective at extended ranges. Oh, also empowering Rift makes weapons more effective at extended ranges. So all that combined, think about using any auto rifle that does more damage as it spins up. Or SMG too. Oh, you could use it with an SMG.
So, okay, Rift Reload is automatic. So if you just stand in it, then it just keeps on reloading.
That's what
that
so
means.
You don't, like, your ammo drops from your reserves, not from your mag at all.
Then that could be absolutely amazing.
Because the way it works right now, if you watch the Twitter video that they put out for Sweet Business on its revamp and how much ammo it had, he was walking in and out of the Rift the whole time. Yeah. So now you don't have to walk in and out of it. You can literally set the Rift down, use Suros, and it'd be on the full speed the entire time. Or you could use an SMG, which previously there wasn't really anything you could just stand still and use an SMG and keep reloading. You could use Huckleberry, and it'd be shooting at its full speed the entire
time. Risk Runner. Once your thing's active and you're shooting someone, your ammo doesn't.
Or that, yeah.
But I guess my question is just how fast / often is that reload? Is it instant? Which like me and Man are saying, something like Suros, even when it's spinning up, if it's instant, your clip never drops. Your ammo pretty much, for all intents and purposes, is coming straight from reserve.
Disappears.
Right. Or is it every second? Is it every 2? Do you know what I mean? Like how often is it? Is the question.
I would hope it would be frequent enough that for Suros you could just keep firing and never have to.
Or just automatic weapons in general. Could you imagine doing the Callus raid, like the people outside shooting the skulls, lay down the Rift?
Oh yeah.
Continually just shoot. Literally.
Here's my thing though. I think that would be cool too, but looking at it not from the hey, I want to do this crazy thing. But a little bit more logically, wouldn't that pretty much get rid of the need of having Sweet Business?
You mean you would want to have Sweet Business? What are you talking about?
No, Suros would be just a better version of Sweet Business.
I don't think so, because Sweet Business, it has, I feel like, more range when it's at its full max spinning up than Suros does. I could be wrong, but I feel like it has more range than Suros does. That's just me talking in use. But also this Rift gives you extended range on whatever weapon you're using. That is
true, yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe Suros is going to be ridiculously good. We'll see. But Hove, now that you've said that, I did find myself why would I want to use Sweet Business now that I have Suros just in general? Right. Except Suros isn't, it runs out decently fast. So I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Not if it keeps reloading.
Not if it keeps reloading. Maybe you're right. Maybe it would be the best.
Yeah. Kami said, his thought, and this is kind of what I'm thinking, is it'll probably be like an instant reload, but maybe have a cooldown of 5 seconds, 3 seconds, a second.
As long as it's not too long, I feel like that's okay.
Yeah,
that's reasonable.
I just think if it's like an instant, then it might not even. It's got to, or I feel like they wouldn't have worded it that way. They would have said it just keeps your mag full, or do you know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of reload.
Yeah. No, I got you. And you're probably right, because otherwise it would just eat from the reserves, and that's not exactly the wording that they use.
I'm guessing maybe like the moment your mag runs out, it does the first reload for you, and then the countdown happens from there.
Maybe.
So if you're... I'm guessing like if you're using a fast rate of fire weapon, like a really fast, maybe like Suros, then maybe the second time you have to reload, and then the third time it reloads for you again, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Which, that's still kind of reasonable, I guess.
Yeah, especially if you're only talking... Yeah, if you're only talking fast firing things. Like if you're using a hand cannon, it's slow enough you can just keep going. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Like Uriels, I feel like would be slow enough. But like if you're using like Risk Runner or like Suros or something, like something that can just fly through ammo, then maybe you have to reload like once.
People still use Uriels? Lol.
I do, actually. It's one of my main weapons.
It's still really good.
PvE, it's amazing, by the way.
Positive outlook. Sorry.
Another thing to add on to the conversation we were talking about, basically, like using the fast firing stuff, they're talking about using it more offensively. That's one of their goals is they wanted you to be able to also double down on the offensive choice of using the Rift and reward players who do that with an who choose to do an empowering Rift. It's like continually like giving you extra damage with the empowering Rift, and you're doing extra damage from your things being max spinned up. So I wonder like what that's going to be like if anybody gets the stats on that once it's out with an empowering Rift plus Sweet Business at its full speed. How fast could you kill someone? Or Suros at its full speed with the empowering Rift. I don't think the empowering Rift does that much extra damage, but I wonder if it'd be enough to like at something doing that much extra damage to kill someone that much faster in PvP.
Two things. One, so any Rift does the reload thing. Only the empowering gives you the extra range, correct?
Let me see.
I think so. That's what it made it sound like. Empowering Rift
because it sounds like they're trying to give it a reason. Because right now nobody runs an empowering Rift. There's no reason.
That's true. Yeah.
But the range thing, unless you're right up on somebody, the range increase in itself is going to give is like an extra damage buff, right? With damage fall off.
Yeah, true. Yep.
So
I wonder how much of a range buff that's going to be for it to make a difference. I feel like it would need to be a good bit.
Same. Yeah. I hope it is. I hope it is.
Keep in mind, we're only looking at it. The only one thing we can see is damage, but with the way they do things, range factors in, aim assist, stickiness, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Man, that would be nice for SMGs too. I was just thinking about, we were talking about Risk Runner or Huckleberry. Like to have more range gives it more aim assist. That would be pretty interesting. So next up, we got Sun Bracers. Mechanical changes are the original effect is replaced with increases the duration of solar grenades, and solar melee kills grant unlimited solar grenade energy for a brief time. Which reminds me so much of D1.
Part of the proxic fire or something like that?
Yeah, where you could just throw grenades forever.
Just spam them.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like, I think that's great. I wonder how long that brief time lasts. I guess probably enough to throw like maybe 3 grenades or something like that. That would seem like awesome. Yeah,
maybe not like a crazy amount, but enough to make it better. It's like 3 or 4. That'd be cool.
Yeah, not only that, but the ones that you throw will last longer too. So you could create like a wall around you.
So for solo players, that might actually be really good. Run up, get a melee kill on the first and just spam everything else around you.
Or even on like if you're a last man standing as a warlock and you're wearing those and you get a melee kill on the first guy and then just throw grenades everywhere.
You gotta YOLO in there, get the melee and just spam.
2 things. One, was it melee hits or kills?
Is it hits?
I don't know.
Solar melee kills.
Okay.
Unlimited solar grenade energy. So you have to finish the kill with that melee.
That could also be helpful in like boss fights. Melee and add, throw a bunch of solar grenades at the boss with like melting point or whatever else going on.
Oh, for sure. That would be pretty sick actually if you had melting point from a Hammer Titan going on before you threw them.
I hope it's not. Will said only 1 grenade. Probably. I hope it's more than that. I hope we get to spam a little bit.
Well, it's got to be more than 1, or else again, why wouldn't they just say it grants it grants you an instant grenade?
Yeah. For all we know, maybe it lasts for like 10 seconds. You're literally just creating sunspots everywhere or whatever.
I mean, really, it could, because in PvE, who cares if it's super powerful and you get to throw 10?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
PvP, I feel like, you know, with melees not being as strong, it's got to be your charged melee.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you run up and like melee someone and then melee him again to kill them, you don't get that because it wasn't your charged melee. So it may not be. It could be a lot of grenades because I don't think it's going to proc quite as much in PvP.
Don't solar grenades like do a lot of damage in PvE if they
stand there? Yeah.
If they stand there, yeah.
The one thing that I don't want to say it worries me because we're a long way from that, but I hope this doesn't turn into kind of what happened in D1, because you remember it was very similar. That early in D1, a lot of exotic armor, like, people didn't use, the perks were lame, blah blah blah, and they made these changes, and then it got to the point where they were making more changes because things became the only thing people wanted to run because they did something really well. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're a long way from that. We need a lot of cool shit in D2. But I'm just saying, this is starting to follow that same, like, let's add all this crazy stuff because no one wants to use it.
I don't know. I would rather them do that. I think that's the whole problem with D2 right now is they didn't take chances on those kind of things, and I would rather be in a place where they just had some crazy stuff. And even if everybody was using them, yeah, it's fun. So let's have the fun stuff rather than the not as exciting stuff, you know?
Yeah, I just don't want them, like I said, it's not that I don't want them all to be fun. I just don't want it to get to that point again where they're like, well, we made this one super ridiculous and nobody uses literally anything but that.
Yeah, like if Twilight Garrison were in the game again, all the Titans would run Twilight Garrison.
I'm okay with that. I want Bones of Ao.
If they re-added Bones of Ao back in, I mean,
or that. Well, with a lot of the hunter, like if they added Bones of Ao back in and kept that hunter helm that gives you your health back, that'd be a tough one to call for hunters, wouldn't it? Like between those two, like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like stuff that makes a big difference that you have a hard time choosing between. Right now, I could care less on my Titan. Like I could literally not wear any exotics and it would feel almost the same. And now that Armamentarium is back, I'm using that all the time because it's the only one that gives me a distinct advantage. I always have a second grenade, and so why not? I'm going to use that one all the time.
I also think though on that specific example, I think a lot of that would come down to kind of the skill level of a person. Like I feel like you would have someone who's more worried about staying alive using the health helmet, and someone who is going to be out there trying to get kills and slaying, and probably a higher skill level would probably use bones.
Or you could say a different play style.
Play style, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I really want, is different people, different play styles using different exotics. Yeah. Not just, I get an extra grenade.
If we get to the point where this is super strong just because, then that gets rid of that. That's kind of what I was saying on that. And like I said, we're a long way from that. I'm just saying this is starting to sound very similar.
I get your concerns, and I'm with you. Like I wouldn't want it to get that extreme, but I'm also with you in that we're a far ways away from that. Yeah. Let's see. I think so. That's the last exotic we have to go over, and there's another Bungie showdown happening. This time, Studio versus Studio, Vicarious Vision versus Team Bungie, May 30th at 11 a.m. PDT. You can watch it on twitch.tv/Bungie. That'll actually be pretty cool to watch.
You should go watch it. Shout out to Tux.
Yeah. Ready for it.
We got a Rezo member there on Team Vicarious Vision. So maybe that'll be I'm going to look at these as Bungie versus Rezo, because both teams so far playing Bungie have had at least one Team Resolute member. So maybe Rezo can go...
It might be Rezo v Rezo.
Ooh, it's not, but it could be one day.
Oh, is it not? Oh,
yeah, I know.
I don't know who's on the roster right now, so.
DMG, Cosmo, Tocom, and Victor Anderson.
Yeah. It could have been, though. It could have been Rezo v Rezo. That would be awesome. I feel like
Chris is a little too busy, fixing the game.
I feel like...
I mean, in a good way, because things have been getting better.
I feel like since Rezo infiltrated Bungie, it's still Rezo v Rezo. So
okay,
it's a hostile takeover.
Yep. So they talked a little bit. The last thing that I kind of wanted to hit up was they talked about the API issue. That is not, and if you're playing Destiny at all and using dim, you know you can't transfer your primary weapon, the weapon you have equipped on your character, to another character right now. You have to make sure that before you swap characters, at least make sure those weapons aren't in your like
equipped slot. Yeah, you can't even, not even transfer. You can't even equip it or unequip it on the same character.
Yeah, you need
to do it in game.
It's slightly annoying, but as long as before you jump off that character, just put something random on it, and then it's okay. That's why I need to actually. I forgot to do that. I'm giving you guys. Yeah.
No, and it's not. I'm with you, man. It's not that difficult, not that hard to do. It's just remembering to do that. And I like that they gave a reason here why it's this way, which I didn't know yet. Maybe they said it somewhere else, but here in the TWAB, the reason is players could reach 385 power within a short amount of time if characters had no items equipped in their weapon inventory. So basically, they were tricking the system to make them think that they didn't have any weapons, and then they'd turn in their powerful engram, and it would give them gear no matter what, and it would keep being higher and higher gear. So it was like if you have less things to improve, you'll improve them faster, basically.
Well, what it is it was reading. Okay, so say you were just taking your weapons into account for your power level. Forget the rest of them. So say you had a 300, and a 0 light thing. Okay. In that case, the way they do power would be an average. 300 plus 300 plus 300 divided by 3 is 300. If you had 3. So in that case, it would be 600 divided by 3, which would be 200. But what was happening is if you didn't have anything equipped, quote unquote, where it was tricked, it wasn't even factoring that into the equation. So you could take everything off that character except for your 380 gun, and because it wasn't reading any of your other slots, it thought you were 380 light. So then you would turn something in, and it would give you something 380 or above. So then you would equip that one only, and that would be your total light. So it was taking whatever your absolute highest light item was, and it was just calculating that as your light. So then you could just keep turning something in, it would be higher. Equip that, you would get something higher than that. So, 3 or 4 milestones, and you just went up like 10, 15 light.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So another thing with that, and I didn't think of that till just now, but I'm sure people who are going for movie of the week right now have thought about this. Because of this, you can't do the trick where you delete a blue and move it out of your slot at the same time to get nothing, so that your camera view is, you don't have a gun in your camera view. That was the trick. And so that's how I've like shot some films for D2 already without a weapon, was you do that trick, and now you can't do that because you can't move a primary, like an equipped weapon, out. And so there will be no camera moving videos on D2 for a little while. I don't think there's any other way to do it. You can do the trick where you like sit by a wall and the camera kind of hides, and you can't see your character, but you can't move.
The old sword thing doesn't work anymore?
No, I haven't seen it work, at least.
I never knew how to do it in the first place. Well, they did say they're aware and they're working on it, though. So
yeah. So that's kind of a bummer, I guess, for movie people. I didn't think about it until now, and just a slight annoyance for the rest of us. It's not like
no, it's pretty annoying. I didn't get to use my Risk Runner for like 2 days because I was too lazy to sign into my Warlock.
That sounds like a laziness problem, not necessarily like an annoyance.
I mean, it annoyed me because I was lazy, but it still it still annoyed me.
Well, that is it for the TWAB.
Did you didn't use your words. You were the worst at this game.
Yeah, I do have 1 word left. I don't know where I'm going to fit it in.
You have 2.
Here. No, I used 2.
What?
You didn't? I only have 1 left.
What one did you use besides General William Ironside?
I used plutonium. You didn't even hear it?
No.
That's amazing. I said it would be as big as a plutonium explosion, like plutonium bomb explosion. And Mana was like, yeah, totally.
Oh.
I didn't even know that was a word, honestly.
Oh, because I was using I fit mine into there, too.
Yeah, and then I fit my second one right on top of that. Yep.
Oh.
Well, there's a lot of weird.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
It's not a competition, okay?
Yeah, I forgot how I was gonna fit my third one in, so I don't. Yeah.
I mean, Mana came up with a giant penis shooting smegma. Yours is not as
I'm
bad
not proud
as
of it.
Yeah.
No. I had a spot to use mine, and I just completely forgot about it.
Maybe you can use it while you're talking about these lovely
blue microphones and headphones that we have. Yes, we have it. We have an amazing sponsor, Blue Microphones and Headphones, that we're so grateful to have. And
oh, Jesus Christ, Mana.
If you want to, it's for those not watching, I'm sorry, there's just hilarious stuff going on screen right now. But yeah, if you want a discount code for any Blue Microphones and Headphones, you can use discount code REZOcast upon checkout, and you'll receive 20% off. And it's a great deal because, you know, they're just as cheap as they are on Amazon or any other spot. So go get them from bluemic.com. Go check them out. Full show.
Yeah, because they're sweet and awesome. So if you stream or want to do a podcast, the mics are fantastic. And even if you just like music, the headphones are probably the best headphones I've used for listening to music.
Yep. I love how you started so intense, and then
I know.
You just kind of started.
You know, this was supposed to be a serious episode. I was very serious today.
You were. I was very
I
impressed.
was not.
Yeah. What?
Well, I think that's it for this week. We don't really have anything else.
Deadpool 2 came out. Did anybody guys see it?
Oh, we didn't have it this week.
Did you? I didn't get to see it yet.
I saw it. It's a good time.
Is it good? I'm going tomorrow, so
it's pretty good.
It was tough. I had to choose between going to see Solo or Deadpool, and I was like I want to go see Star Wars, but I feel like Deadpool is like more hype right now than Solo.
I think so too. I think a lot of people are kind of iffy about Solo. So,
and I would have seen Solo right away if it wasn't for like the big, like the IMAX showing that I normally go see it at, like the big screen with the awesome sound. Like they had weird times that wouldn't work out for me, and the Deadpool one was playing like all day, and I was like, well, okay, I'll go see
I remember what I did this weekend, Sunday, Monday. But my one buddy is actually auditing. A whole bunch of buddies come up a couple times a year. It just so happened one of the guys that come up, he's auditing the township. So he's just like, do you mind if I just kind of stay there so I don't? It's like, yeah, just because everyone stays in my apartment. Everyone just kind of piles up in my apartment.
Lego, have you ever received an invite to stay at Mana's apartment?
I have not. Not currently. No.
Did you guys come up?
I was just there.
Okay, well, anyways.
I wasn't there.
But he's just like, yeah, I come up and we can go out and see Deadpool too. I was just like,
oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
I know.
You know, I was just like, let's do it. So that's what we have. Monday was a good time. Actually dodged Raid Lair night because of times, and I'm kind of sad about it. But at the same time, I saw Deadpool, so it was worth.
Yeah,
it's a good time. See it, everyone.
I'm very excited to go see it. It's weird, like, you know how you said you forgot about it? That's kind of how I've been lately about movies. It's like people talk about summer movie going and how people go to the movies more during the summer and during the winter and stuff around Christmas. And I didn't really think that was true. I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know, maybe. But now it's before summer, and I'm kind of still forgetting about them until summer hits. I feel like I'm not really thinking about it.
Do you know what it was? Okay. We all blew our load on Infinity War.
Infinity Wars.
We've been waiting for that for like so long.
It was the hypest thing. It's happening. Other trailers are coming out, but honestly thought they were much farther away than what they were. Like Deadpool, I didn't realize Deadpool was just around the corner, and then Solo was right behind it.
Right.
So I just completely forgot. I was like, yeah, I got like a month or so probably. And it's here already.
Do you want my long-term bold MCU prediction?
Well, wait, because I did want to ask Hove if you. Well, no, I do, but I just wanted to ask if you had any more MCU predictions or anything with the new Avengers movie. If you had any more theories. Now, I don't want any of that like flat earther, like kind of way out there theories, but just anything else you can think of.
I have one.
We're in spoiler territory now. Do we have to? Should we say?
Yeah, spoiler flags. If you haven't seen Avengers 3,
Infinity Wars, mute now.
I have. I'm going to tell you now. I have a very good theory, and I don't know if I'll remember the whole thing because it was very deep. I'm completely. I like got real into this. Like,
okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so one of the things that they very much this is my long-winded prediction of Avengers 4. Maybe not prediction, but it's just something I could see happening. So one of the themes that they really preached in this whole thing, and even though they didn't say it on both sides, we don't trade lives. We don't trade lives. Okay, they literally kept saying that very heavy-handedly on the Avengers side. And keep in mind, this was Thanos' movie where he didn't think he was the villain. In all honesty, and the thing that got me this is I was reading an article that said Thanos wasn't as good of a villain as everyone is saying, because they were like, what does he get out of this? Yeah. Like, he's not dominating the world. He doesn't want, blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing. In his mind, he's no different than the Avengers. He's trying to save the world, the universe, the same as the Avengers are. He's
kind of chaotic good in his in his way, right. I guess, in a sense.
So really, if you look at it at just a very broad sense, the only difference in them, the Avengers aren't getting anything out of being the Avengers. They're trying to save the universe. Thanos sees himself the same way. The difference being, and they were very heavy-handed with this, kept saying, we don't trade lives. That's not how we do things. Whereas Thanos, very obviously, is going to the exact opposite extreme, to where he will trade lives. That's exactly what his plan is, even as going as far as killing Gamora, the one thing he loves. So, what would be a more fitting way? Now, keep in mind, this also goes into, like, Captain America's probably done, right? Chris Evans. So what would be more fitting, especially since Iron Man and Captain America still haven't even met back up and made up since Civil War, that Tony Stark ends up being the one to, whether it's actually wield a new Infinity Gauntlet or whatever it may be, he ends up having to get the Soul Stone, because you have to sacrifice the thing you love. He ends up having to sacrifice Steve Rogers to get the Soul Stone. And Steve Rogers, Captain America, who said 12,000 times, we don't trade lives, we aren't going to do that, has to say, like, Tony, like, this is what needs to be done, blah, blah, blah. And so to get the Soul Stone, or to use it, he has to sacrifice Captain America, which would then play into Bucky becoming Captain America because he has more movies, Chris Evans on his way out.
I thought you were going to go a little bit slightly different. Okay. You're saying how they were saying throughout, we don't trade lives. And now only the OG guys from the start are left. Yep. I thought you were going to say, like, what if they all sacrifice themselves to bring back everyone new, all the latest guys back into the universe, and they continue on with the Marvel MCU. But now the OG guys can finally, like...
The only reason I don't see it going that far is because of movie making and money. Because they're still going to want at least some of those people around, even if they don't keep getting their own movies, to kind of do what Iron Man did in Spider-Man Homecoming and kind of be in other people's movies to be a draw. That's the only reason I don't see them all going. I do see where you're going with that, because that fits
I thought originally that's why.
But like I said, so not only would that play on this entire through line that started at the beginning of the movie of we don't trade lives, save Vision, really don't do this, for the very end of it, they realize that they're not that different. Like, we do have to do what Thanos did. We do have to trade lives to fix all of this. And it's Tony sacrificing Cap because they're boys and he loves him. That's how they make up. Like, tell me that wouldn't be...
That would be great. I would really not like it because I really like Captain America so much.
But he's gone, man.
What if it's like... I mean, we don't know that for sure. They could be keeping things under wraps, but... because they also said something about, like, I don't know, like, he's not coming back after this or something, and, like, clearly, like, people are coming back. I don't know. But also, I feel like somebody had a theory out there that when Pepper was and Tony were talking about, like, having a kid and stuff like that, and that when she was losing signal with him, somebody thought that she was saying, like, she was pregnant. Like, in the distorted frequency, like when he's on the ship, like, don't leave, and something about, like, what if she said I'm pregnant right there, and what if he ends up, like, having to, like, sacrifice his, son or daughter or whatever. Like
that'd be too dark.
That'd be too dark.
An unborn, yeah, they wouldn't do that. That's no.
That face. No, who would do that?
I just don't see that's
proportions.
That's too DC.
Yeah, it is very DC. You're right.
No,
killed my mom.
Yeah, Martha. But no, that's my. I don't want to say it's a prediction because they could go so many ways, but like,
yeah, they have a very large like.
There's just so much, but like as I kind of like realized what that whole through line was, that they don't see, like, Thanos doesn't see himself any different than the Avengers. That's why he even says like he respects Tony Stark. That was one of my favorite lines too, when he was like, it was a very sincere like, I hope they remember you. Like, I'm doing this because like I respect you. You were awesome. I hope they remember you, but this is what I need to do to save everybody. Like, Thanos thought he was like, he thought he was the good guy. That's why he was willing to sacrifice Gamora.
That's the best part about Infinity Wars, is they did such a great job of making Thanos not just like a maniacal, like evil bad guy. That he's a character. He's he has a thought process. He has feelings. He has like emotions. He's doing this like for this set reason, and he doesn't want anything in his path to stop it because he feels like that's a good thing.
And Josh Brolin killed it too. By the way.
You can read his emotions like through the
cries.
CGI. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get chills still, like, thinking whenever you were saying like the line, like, I hope they remember you.
That was so
like,
good.
That sticks with me. Like, I'm like, oh gosh, like every line that Thanos delivers, I feel like it grows on you the more you watch it. And I've heard complaints that like, the spiritual journey of him finding all the stones should have taken place over several movies, not just this one. But I really think that if you watch it several times, like, it grows on you more and more. Not that it's not good the first time it is. Well, it's just kind of shocking the first time.
I can kind of see the argument of like, yeah, he kind of just get OP really quickly, but it actually, it showed him from the first Avengers. Yeah. He was out searching, trying to figure out where they are, and he finally knew there's a couple on Earth. What's that one planet from Guardians of the Galaxy? He decimated, apparently, in order to get one. He knew where everything was, and this movie was him finally going out of his way. He's like, okay, everyone's failing me. I need to do this myself now.
Especially when you think of it in terms of like Loki was him. Like, he sent Loki to Earth, like, with the Tesseract to like do the very first, or not the Tesseract. He sent him with the one that gets put in
the scepter, the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone, yep, because it was in his staff, at the beginning.
Do you think he knew at that point it was in there? I don't think he did.
Loki or Thanos?
Either one of them.
I think Thanos knew. I think he was like, use the, like, I'm leveraging one.
I'm pretty sure Thanos knew. I'm not sure if. I think Loki's clever enough to figure out, is like, this is a very powerful object, and he obviously knew what the Infinity Stones were. So I think both of them knew. You
know what, though? When they did do that, it did sort of close a loophole, a plot hole for me. Do you remember whenever they had to break in the original Avengers? Yeah. Selvig was like, get the scepter. It's the only way to like shut down the portal because it can't protect against itself. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's the Tesseract. This is a scepter.
Why do they
so even though they're two different stones, like the Infinity Stones were all kind of like one thing. Like, they all want to be like, they're all like sentient type.
They're a law that they cannot actually. I can't explain it, but like I was watching something that explained like they all can't be used together or something, but they all came from the same being. It's just like it was something,
like the singularities of the universe or whatever it said.
Yeah, they explain it in the movie a little bit. Yeah.
So that actually kind of, because that bothered me a lot. I was like, what do you mean it can't protect against itself?
Which was kind of crazy. Like, if you look at the comic book lore, like I went deep. I went really deep into some like YouTube videos for lore and all that. Like original like Infinity Stones came from just like pretty much like the only being that was before the galaxy even existed or universe existed. And he was like, I'm alone. I'm just going to explode. And that was the Big Bang, pretty much.
Okay.
And then all that was within him, like all the most powerful things, became the Infinity Stones. I think there may have been a couple of different arcs, but that was the main one. I want to say the biggest one that happened. There's also ones that had more Infinity Stones in it, which, yeah.
That's one of the things that I love about comic book movies is they have so many, like, comic books restart or have so many multiverse versions of them that they could pick and choose different ones and put them all together, and it's still from the comics. It's still homage to that, but like it's not, you know, exactly one or the other. And so even comic book readers are guessing, like, what version is it going to be? Like, how are they going to mix it together?
Well,
you know, I
like,
love that.
Stormbreaker was from the comics, but it wasn't Thor's weapon.
What was it? The other, like, alternate
It
Thor?
was Beta Ray Bill's.
Yeah.
When he had to battle Thor and he beat him but spared his life, Odin made him a new weapon.
It's also funny. It's like Thor's, they called it Stormbreaker, Thor's new hammer, but like what it was pretty much based on the Ultimate Universe's Thor's hammer, which was
had an axe on the back. It had another name closer to like Mjolnir. Like it was like a weird
it was
name.
something like that. But they pretty much just combined the two. Like, I don't know, it was weird for the MCU. Also, talking about different realities and all that, I don't think that, no, this ain't spoiler, but you saw in the trailer for Deadpool where like they created the X-Force or whatever. Yeah. That came off of the New Mutants, which is now a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a horror flick.
Yes,
like,
I'm so excited about that.
So it's yeah, right? It's like,
that is weird.
I am curious. I hope it does well.
Yeah, so, I hope it's actually horror, because they kind of made, like, Doctor Strange, I think a lot of people were thinking that was going to be a horror movie because the director for it was the director for that horror movie. What's it called? The guy,
the director that did Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it was
Scott Derrickson? Or did he do...
It was the guy who did, or at least originally it was supposed to be the guy who did one of the Ethan Hawke horror movies. I can't remember the name of it right now. But it had Bagul or something was the name of the guy who like is in the... No, Bagul. It was the demon who was like in like video stuff or whatever and like speaks to kids or something like that.
It is Scott Derrickson. He did The Exorcism of Emily Rose, Sinister, and Deliver Us from Evil.
Oh, Sinister. Yes. Okay.
See, and so I was like, maybe it'll be like a horror kind of superhero movie, but it wasn't. And so that's what I'm hoping New Mutants is it's actually like a horror kind of comic book.
I think that one's supposed to be because it's Fox, it's not Marvel. I mean, it's a Marvel character, but characters. But Marvel, I think, is more just like, let's hire interesting directors to do things outside of what they do, because look at the Russos. They were more known for comedy than
that blows my mind with how good Winter Soldier was and everything they've done from then on. Like,
still one of my favorites. It's just so good, everything about it.
I can't believe they did comedy before that. It's crazy.
So yeah, that's my my final thing. I don't necessarily think it'll be Tony and Cap, although that would fit with like what characters they need to kind of get rid of. But I do think that whole through line, they're going to have to sacrifice somebody because that brings the whole thing full circle. Boom.
They've got to use something with that line for sure. I'm with you. Like, that is the theme of the movie for the good guys.
And who was the one who kept saying it the most? And that's why I think he'll be the one to say, not only do we have to do that, but it's me. And then someone will say it to him like, Cap, you said we don't trade lives. And he's going to be like, we don't have a choice.
What a good character arc too that would be. Yeah.
Did you
talk
about or hear about the theory that everyone's trapped in the Soul Stone?
Like already? Or like
no? You mean all the people
disappeared? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they that's. I mean, it's a theory because we don't know, but that has to be what it is. I would
because
say.
Like when Thanos used it, and then he goes into that little mystical area and sees young Gamora. Everyone's like, what if that actually for a moment he was in the Soul Stone with
He definitely was, yeah. Well, because also when they asked the Russos about the character deaths, he said everyone that died is staying dead.
Oh, right. So that would give him an out if all the people disappeared didn't die, they just went somewhere else.
And I saw someone still saying that they think Loki was playing another trick, but the biggest reason I don't think so, besides all of that, is all the other times nobody we knew, like no one grabbed him and killed him. Like when he does those tricks, he's like an astral projection. This time, like Thanos was grabbing him and choked him to death. Like he's dead.
I feel like I need to go back and watch Thor 2 because I don't remember how he tricked in that one.
I've only ever watched Thor: The Dark
World. The guy like threw like a spear or a rock or something, went into him, and he just laid on the ground. Like
okay, I couldn't remember.
Actually, it's kind of exactly portrayed in Ragnarok, like the silly play at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Although
Right.
actually, and this makes it
Matt Damon.
With Matt Damon.
Yeah.
this makes it fitting because I want to say in the Dark World they like had to get off the planet and they said like just leave him, we have to go, because he was even sad that he left him. He didn't get to bury him. He left him on the planet to like dead because he never like went to touch him because it wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I do need to watch that again sometime.
No, you don't.
Also,
It's
this is
bad.
kind of a spoiler, but not really a spoiler. But Matt Damon's in Deadpool 2, but he's totally hidden. I want you
Damn
guys
it!
to
You ruined. I knew there was a big
you would-
cameo. You ruined it. Nope, man. Get off.
You would never know. You would never know.
Well, now I do.
0%.
That's the thing.
Zero. I want you guys to try to find him.
Okay. I'm gonna try to find him.
That's the only reason why I said that. I want you guys to try to find him. You'll never
find
know.
him.
I'm done with you.
Also, I have no idea where Stan Lee is in it.
Oh.
I didn't even think about it. We were walking out. We're like, where was Stan Lee at?
What did he do in the first one?
He was the DJ in the strip
That's
club,
right. That's right.
which was amazing.
All right. Well, now that we've got our This Week in Marvel in, I think that is it for REZOcast episode 87.
How come only I had to have a prediction for Avengers 4?
What? You had a what?
Why was I the only one that had to have a prediction?
Because it is a great prediction.
It was like a 30-minute prediction.
I
and
told you.
conversation, too.
I had a really long conversation
It
with
was
someone
in depth.
about that.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good prediction.
Thanks.
It was actually. You should put that on Reddit.
But that takes like, you know how long it took me to speak those words?
It might be worth. You might get Reddit famous.
I'll put it on Reddit if you come play private matches with us after the podcast.
You might get gold on Reddit.
No.
Good, because I'm not putting it on
Lego,
Reddit.
aka Gold Flash. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash. Hove, where can they find you?
On Reddit, typing forever.
Formatting
Twitter.
forever and ever.
Twitter and Twitch. Hove76. That's HOV76. Yeah, I guess that's everywhere. Mana, how about you? Where they gonna find you? Shooting
You're gonna
smegma at
find
people.
me. God, I was forced. I was forced to come up with something. Okay, I'm not. It's not okay. You can find me at the Manigator on both Twitch, Twitter, mainly Twitch, and I'm still working on my one video for the year on YouTube at the Manigator. Haven't gone back to it yet, but it's existing.
It might come out eventually.
Yeah.
Well, you can also find REZOcast at REZOcast on Twitter. You can find Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you on Twitter, and we'd love to hear from you on our review section of iTunes, Apple Podcasts. We know it's a pain to get to it, but if you enjoyed the episode, we'd love if you'd leave us a review. Helps us out a lot. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Y'all got anything else? Hove, Mana?
What?
No, I guess not. Well, until next time. We'll see y'all. GG.
Bye.
GG.
GG.